Good morning and welcome to today's live on the Equa Television International. Joyce Jakada is right here and I have Prudence as well. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Good morning.
Yesterday the show was hyped extremely. We were looking at certain things in the elections and it was more like a call for people to turn out and exercise their civic responsibility. The show was heated up. I was just wondering if the phone lines were open yesterday for the show, but we just did it by ourselves. And this morning we are not drifting any further than from the topic yesterday. Yesterday we encouraged people despite all that happened, and the process was not too knitted together. So we called on people to disregard what had happened and come out still on Saturday to exercise their franchise. Did you notice something that the 25th of February was stuck in your mind, the date, and 11 was stuck in your mind, but this new date, you have to struggle to remember. So I just keep saying Saturday. The date is not stuck in my head. I keep saying Saturday. When is Saturday?
18th.
So come out 18th of March, so that you can still do the sacrifice that you did last time. But I guarantee you, this time around is not going to be a wasted one. My name is Tony Jane Akali, and this morning we are looking at a credible leader. Who is a credible leader? If we say you are credible, that means you are a believer. That means the people should be able to rely upon what you can do, if you are voted in. So let's look at let's go deeper to see what credibility means in terms of candidates.
Okay, well, credibility.
Did you greet them? You can't greet people. You are telling them credibility. Are you a credible?
Good morning, my people. Good morning. Feels good to talk to you this morning.
Yeah, always. And it's an amazing thing to be on today's live set.
Yeah.
When I miss it and I'm watching from somewhere, I'll be like, what is happening? Why am I not sitting?
There should be a repeat.
You understand. And you will select topics that are touchy, and treat them when I'm away. The Lord is watching.
Oh, something be done about it. Yes. So, when it comes to election and when it comes to voting, I think credibility should be the watchword. Like, you shouldn't we kept emphasizing even before the presidential election, it's not enough for you to go out there and collect your PVC. It's not also enough for you to go to your polling unit to vote. But who are you actually? On what basis are you voting that person? People turn out to vote for even wrong candidates. Why do we call them wrong candidates? Because these people don't have vision. They don't have what it takes to lead the people. Like, they are not really thinking about humanity. Like, they are just thinking about some selfish interest. But when you're looking at credibility, that means that person has some capacity. He's a visionary leader. He has some good track record that we can say, oh, while he was in this office, while he was in that office, in fact, as a member of a particular community, this was what he was able to do for the people, then that person is credible. Someone that is thinking of service is a credible candidate, because there are people that are like, I can't wait to get to the office. I'm going to refund all my money. I need to pay all the godfathers that sponsor me and all of that. But while the other person is saying, I'm being led by the perils that have befall either the state or the nation. Like, how can we be a nation with over 20 million out of school children? How can we be a nation with about 40% unemployed youth? How can we be having dilapidated structure? The passion to see this nation or this state grow from this level to the other, to see way that as a nation we compete with other developed nations, or as a state, like we outgrow some of these challenges that has befallen us, I think that person is credible. And you can tell that even from their speech, like during campaigns, when they go on visitation, these things are out in the public. What are the things that they are saying? Because I've said it before that I think we have gone past the time where people will go to rallies and campaigns, and then all you're doing is just to be wearing ankles and be dancing. That means the situation, the peril that...
What is ankle?
Oh, Ashwebi.
It's an English show, so say everything in English.
Uniform. Some sort of uniform, Ashwebi, and then they are just celebrating. Like, that means the inflation did not hit you. Some of the policies that came did not hit you. But if it does, then when people are talking, you take your pen and your paper and you write. If it means for you to record what they are saying, so that tomorrow you call them, you have the right to hold them accountable by what they are saying. So how can we know people who are credible? What are the things that they have been saying? Over time, someone said that, oh, after this campaign period, we're going to miss a lot of candidates, because there are some candidates that anytime they make public appearance, like they always leave something for Nigerians. But you know, credibility is beyond all of these things. What is the driving force behind it? We can tell. I think we're not that dumb citizen not to tell, okay, this person actually has humanity at heart. It is the passion to serve that is driving this person.
That it is important to we check out people who are ready to leave a positive mark in the position they are holding. It's not about the prestige of the position you're holding, but it is about the impact that you make for the position that you want to hold. So if you're campaigning for something, for a position, and I'm not trying to attack any party or any manifesto that people have used, but if you're going there because it is your turn to do something like that, then I don't think you should vote for that kind of person. I think it is important that when you're voting for somebody, or when you want to pick out a candidate that you want to put in seat, if you think that for you to think that somebody is a credible candidate, the person needs to have antecedents. He needs to have honesty. He needs to have, to a great extent, let me say, honesty to a great extent, and he needs to be solely surrounded or guarded by humanity. He should have the feelings of humanity. You should have the people in mind, the community in mind. Development should be your growth, should be your drive. How can I be a leader of a group and then they keep deteriorating instead of growing? I failed. I need to, if I want to be a candidate, if I want to run for a position, I think the first thing that I need to consider is the fact that the state or the constituency that I am representing should at least grow to at least about 2 steps forward. We shouldn't be stuck in one place if I'm going to be in that position. That's the kind of mindset that you should have, or as a person that is running for something, and that's the kind of mindset that the candidate I would want to vote for should have. For personally, that's my take on that. Important that Nigerians to reach to that point that you consider credibility instead of just mediocrity.
Okay, if we're talking about someone being credible, is it also the same thing as being suitable?
I think if someone is credible, then is suitable for a particular position, in my opinion.
It should be.
Okay. So how can we distinguish between both facts or both words, like you are credible, but are you suitable for these people? Is a tricky question because you see today the kind of politics that is playing in Nigeria right now is we don't care even if that APC candidate is credible. As far as we are concerned, this person is from also he's suitable. So that's the angle that I'm coming from. That guy is APC. He is credible. But this guy is PDP. We don't care about his credibility. We just care that he's suitable. Now, credible can mean that someone can deal with all the issues in the office. All, and when I mean all, from his contract administration to his people's well-being to infrastructure, to that can be seen as someone being listed, and even more that I just can mention. But if you look at someone that is suitable for the people, he can be, when he was a minister, he shared money. Suitable. Like, he's concerned about our immediate needs. Even if the solutions are not long lasting. Even if the solutions are just for the now, and that's the person. Because you have to distinguish between who is credible and who is suitable. They might almost mean the same thing, but if you check deeper, especially with the definition, you might tend to want to see certain differences in both words. So, what do we think about credibility and being suitable?
I think
why are you looking like you're in an example?
like, well, over time we've had candidates who are actually credible when it comes to governance, like the ideas, but going by your explanation, they are not suitable, maybe because of the times that the state or the nation found itself. Now, there might be a lot of issues, like Nigeria currently. We have a lot of challenges that needs to be dealt with, and when you look at the cases of corruption and amongst others, and then how that certain forces are trying to play their way through, we know that constitutionally you cannot stay in the office for straight up for 12 years as the president. It has to be like on 2 terms, 8 years. So there are certain people that, because of the things that they have indulged themselves in, or the things that they have done, and they wouldn't want to be exposed, they will want to bring out a candidate that might be a cover. At the end of the day, the person will cover for all the wrongs that they have done, because maybe at the time they will be leaving office, the law will definitely catch up with them. So a credible candidate might be looked for. We know how politics play out in Nigeria, how that people, the case issues of godfatherism and he who pays the piper dictates the tune. Somebody can just decide to, let me just sponsor you, I'm going to push you there. And that person might be visionary, credible, and all of that, but the situation that is bringing him or her to the office might not be suitable.
Just like it is in Nigeria today.
Yes. So we were just talking about this early this morning, and somebody mentioned that in a state who had a governor that was bowing out, and he brought out a candidate that he was backing, somebody he was supporting. However, that candidate was from his own tribe, from his own ethnic group. And then the other ethnic groups in the states were refusing that. They didn't want to accept the fact that this ethnic group just led and wants to follow. So at that point, a lot of people were not looking at the credibility of that candidate. Rather, they were looking at the ethnicity, the tribe of that candidate. So at that moment, he was not suitable for them, even if he was credible. I think I got when you from what you mentioned. So a lot of us in Nigeria are controlled by those factors. Religion, your religion makes you suitable or not. Nobody looks at your credibility. Your culture, your tradition, your tribe makes you suitable or not. Your zone makes you suitable or not. That's what runs through in Nigerian election, in Nigerian political sector. Everybody just looks at who is this person, who is this person's where is this person from? Which state is he from? Which religion is he from? We're not looking at, okay, so this person has done this and done that. He would be able to take us to a different level on the development scale. We would grow higher, or nobody's looking at that. Everybody's just looking at, okay, he has to be from our zone. No, let us have a rotation, so that if he comes from this zone today, he's coming from the next person is coming from another zone, and that's what we focus on. So at that moment, you're not suitable for the people because of where you're coming from.
Again, prudence. I think when somebody has the ability to stand firm and do like what governance requires of him, capability and your ability to stand firm might make you suitable. But in a situation whereby you are capable or you are competent, and then people fear that tendency of godfatherism, of control, at the end of the day they might not elect you because they feel you are not suitable for the time. They are looking at the bigger picture. Oh, at the end of the day, if this person emerge, like, he's going to be dancing to the
tunes of his predecessor.
You get. So he might be capable, but on the other hand, they are looking at it, you're not suitable for that position. So these are factors I think that plays out.
Politicians have played a very vital role in bringing about a divide between the people, because if patriotism will play its part very well, I don't think anyone should be bothered where whoever is coming from. If the common goal is to help the people, if the common goal is to build the community or the nation or the state, as the case may be, if the common goal is to make education better than what it is, if the common goal is to make the health sector second to none, who cares where you come from? Nobody. If a stone can do that, would vote the stone. Sure. It's just worrisome that a politician wakes up to tell the people, can't you people bring somebody from your place? Why would you bring somebody from ABC community? He's going for the third time now. You people don't have credible people. Go and talk to this person's son. See, this person is abroad. Let him come back. Look at this person. What is the reason? Is it that he is a better candidate and a suitable candidate for the community than the other person that is there doing good? There are people who have become like the lords of their constituency. How can a particular constituency have a member House of Rep for the fourth or the fifth time going on seat? How can? So in the whole of that community, that is the only person that can be a senator. That is the only person that can be a member House of Rep. That's the only person that can be a governor. That's the only person that can be a whatever he is. I think Nigeria should start disregarding this. And if before we tell Nigerians to disregard this zonal stuff and look for credible person, we should also let Nigerians know that when politicians suggest things to us, we should sit down and think first before we start implementing. A lot of things is for their own selfish reasons. Because first, it was the politicians that came and started developing only their own place, disregarding the other. And in most cases, if you go and check where the votes came the most, they are not even from their place. Because there is no way your place will have more votes than all the other places put together. There's no way. If I want to be governor in my state, my My senatorial district has 4 local governments against 11. If these people vote me, the 4, I no vote escape, all of them vote me, Joyce, I won't be governor. I will not be governor. Even if it's half of the state that voted me, I will not be governor. I need every of these 11 local governments to give me votes. So why should I be thinking about my place, my place, my place, my people, my people, my people? Who is the other people's own? As in, who owns the other? That's the question. We should not be thinking that way. If you are a governor and you are saying that these people say they will not vote me, leave them. Something is wrong. That means you are going to do something dubious, because you need the votes from everywhere. You want to be president and you say, okay, I'm from Northeast, let's concentrate. In Nigeria, Northeast is like a store in a very big flat in Nigeria. What happens to the living room? What happens to the bedroom? What happens to the master bedroom? What happens to the, gallery? You cannot be a half good man and want to be a leader. This is no way possible. You have to be good all rounder. Try every now and then. Apart from being good, there is a higher level. You can be better. Apart from being better, there is a higher level. You can be best. Apart from best, there is a higher level. You can be what? You can be infinity.
Beyond.
But think about it. If we are talking about credible candidates, what is the yardstick for measuring credibility if someone was never anything politically? Assuming I am the media expert that I've always been, and I've never been a political expert. I've never been an expert in civil service. I've never been a civil servant, and I want to become the governor of my state or the member House of Rep or senator. How do you think people should rate me?
Okay, I think we have so many people that this 2023 election was more like their first time coming out to vote. Like they didn't have any political background or antecedent like that, and most of them, I think, scaled through. Talking about the National Assembly elections, we kept making reference to the Okada rider in Kaduna South that actually got there as well. So we have such cases. People must not look out for one time this, one time that. Because I know how that in Nigeria today, somebody will come out and they will say, you will not go anywhere, or they will say he doesn't have structure. Like, Kai, I doubt people will show sympathy. That's and say people will show sympathy and be like, oh, this place is actually good, but Kai.
What are you talking about?
So we should outgrow that. We should look beyond some of these measures that we have set in place, that the person must be one-time governor, one-time senator, and all of that. They are great minds in Nigeria. We shouldn't restrict ourselves to certain circles, that it has to be within this circle. We kept rotating the circle, and where has it taken us to? You get so. We have fresh, great minds with fresh ideas, and we need to explore that. And what you should be looking out in such people is their attitude. What is their character, their approach to humanity? I think these are very key. Even if the person has not been one-time governor or commissioner or councillor, but you were one time a mechanic or a welder or an Okada rider,
and you welded well.
You get
you
so
that by very well.
Well, how is the person's attitude towards people? Even that little work that he is doing, like, is he in it diligent? So I think when these are factors that we can consider beyond party affiliations, antecedents in politics and all of that.
Godfatherism.
Godfatherism, because I think it has crippled a lot of people, like great minds, that when you sit and converse with them, when you hear what they tell you and the things they say, you know that this person has the ideas. He just needs the opportunity. But most times we disregard all of that. We are looking for people that have been one-time this, that even when we check the antecedent, we see that even though they had the 4 years, the 8 years, they didn't do anything, and they are coming to us saying, no, give me the opportunity, give me another opportunity. The other past 4 years or 8 years that didn't do anything is because of the previous administration that didn't do, you know, you always see blame games and all of that. The person comes to you with some kind of sympathy and you still vote the person, neglecting the person political background or position or all of that. So beyond, as important as they may be as factors, I think we can consider the person's attitude. How is his approach to life, to issues, like how is he treating the next door neighbor? It might be as simple also be a factor for you to consider, because even if within your family you are unkind to your family, and then coming out to vie for a position of governor, what makes us feel that you will do well there? So you had an opportunity in your community, like where you lived with other neighbors, you made sure you blocked the way because it's your land so that nobody can pass through. And all of that, you know, that's the only access route. But some people go as far as, oh, I'm going to buy this space so that, and the person tomorrow is coming out for House of Rep or House of Assembly. What makes you feel is going to do anything for you? Pass it, bring a bill that is going to favor you. So let's look at their attitudes. Let's look at their behaviors. What's their approach to humanity? I think it's vital.
Let me bring a point that we might use the rest of the time to chew upon. You are reliable as a leader. You are reliable if you are believable and trustworthy. When you start losing that, that means you have started lying, you have started cheating, you have started creating gap between you and your people. You've started being inconsistent with what made them vote you. Now this is the point. How many of our leaders are very trustworthy and believable compared to those who are liars, cheats, you know, who and the negative and the positive vices? Let's talk about that.
Okay, this is actually interesting because personally I find that a larger number of our leaders, those that are holding positions, I think I find them unbelievable. That's a person. Believe them. Like, see, when he's saying something or she's saying something, I just look, I'm like, okay, let's see you work on it first before I believe you. That's a personal opinion. So a larger number, I find I don't believe them, and I'm not sure if that is just secluded to me, but I think other people too have similar mindsets. We find it hard to believe a larger number of the people in positions in Nigeria. So the thing is that when you want to get a candidate, or when you're looking at the consistency between consistency that a person is having, I think that is one thing that we need to really focus on when we're choosing leaders, and that's one thing that is missing. Are driven by ethnicity and religion in this country, and until we are able to get those two out of the political arena, I'm not sure we can be able to forge ahead. So it is one thing that is really eating deep. It's a poison that is gradually swallowing us up, but we still are not learning our lessons.
Let me put a question to you based on what you said. What makes someone trustworthy and believable?
What makes someone trustworthy and believable?
Why do you think certain politicians are trustworthy and they can easily be believed?
One thing is that when somebody says that I'm going to do this from his campaign or manifestos, and he finally gets the position, and that's one thing that I see implemented, then I begin to tilt towards trusting that person.
So why does he do what he said he would do?
There are two reasons. The first one is integrity. So I said this, I need to do it. I told the people I'll do this, I'm going to do it because that's my person. I'm a person of integrity. The second, which we find a lot in Nigerians' political system, is because I want to be elected for the next tenure. So I'll do what I said in this tenure, and then I use the next tenure to do what I want to do. Wow,
that's a very strong point. That's a very. Can you say that again? Can you remember what you just said? Say it again. It's a very strong point.
I said the second. Should I start from the second or the first?
The first and the second point.
The first point is that you are doing it because of your integrity. This is who I am. If I say that I want to do this, then I'm doing it because that's what I told the people I'm going to do. The second reason why people do it is because I want to be elected come the next tenure. So I do what I told the people in the first tenure, and then in the next tenure, I do what I want to do, what pleases me.
Oh my God. Okay, Joyce, on the opposite, I think that's the highlight of the show for me. And where are you from again?
I'm from Gombe.
Oh, no wonder, no wonder. Okay, I've asked before on the show, right, Joyce? Okay, let's hear from the Plateau lady. It's not a debate, it's not a debate. Well, we need to laugh on the show, and I keep saying that. Joyce, what makes people, and I want you to build upon what Prudence said earlier. She said it can be the issue of integrity. It can be because you want to impress the people so hard so that they can give you that first tenure. You can be there for the first time, and the second 4 years you want to go there and do what you want to do. Now, that's just one. The question I want to put to you is the same question that I put to her first. Why do people lose their trust? Why do they cheat? Why do they lie? I'm talking about politicians now, because it's beginning to sound like we're talking about love. When you say cheat, people just go. Now a lot of people have started thinking,
Their relationship.
Ibrahim, what he did to me. What is the name Ibrahim? So I'm just talking about politicians. And why do people stop trusting politicians? Why do politicians lie? Why do they cheat? Why do they put that very long, like very wide space between them and the people until almost another electoral season? Then they start closing up on the gaps and all that. Why does that happen?
Well, for me, I would say it's because of greed. What took them there? Personal interest. Like it has nothing to do with the people. Because if it is about the people or if it is about service, then you say it in and keep to it. Today, people will tell you that our polity is filled with unprincipled people. Why? Because they say this, tomorrow they do another thing. You go for campaigns, beautiful policies, beautiful ideas. Like when I was watching before the presidential election, all the presidential candidates, like especially those that appeared at Chatham House, I was like, look at all these ideas, put this together, or give these people opportunity. Oh, that means Nigeria is going to be like one of the best country in the whole world. But why is it, I was just wondering, but is this actually different from what we've been hearing, election in, election out? No, it's not even far different from what we've had before. So what actually happened when these people get into office? Someone was saying it's like there's something in that office that just makes these people just change all of a sudden. And I think one of the factors is this godfatherism. He who pays the pipers dictates the tune. Because some people might come out with the intention to serve, no wonder the beautiful ideas and all of that, but because somebody somewhere sponsored you and he wants to have a say, he tells you what to do, and because there is a prior agreement, so you see that the politician, after promising his people that I'm going to do this, the one that paid the piper is saying no, don't develop that place. I need you to give me 100 billion naira. And the money that is supposed to be for the development of that constituency is being transferred to somebody's personal account. So you have this as a factor being played out. And then for some of them, because of the agreement that they have gone into with some of these political gladiators, now they are dancing to the ideologies of their party. They are dancing to the ideology of the people that they are godfathers and all of that. And at that point, they are almost crippled. They forget about the people because they are being threatened again. If next 4 years we will remove you, like it's no longer about the people deciding that you come into office, but we are the deciders. That is why you see that like almost Nigerians are just left with who the parties actually nominated at the primaries. You don't have, all of us cannot go for the primary election in a particular political party and then decide who emerge. It is those party members, and if you look back to most of the party primaries that we've seen, it's money that played out. The highest bidder. So it's not really about, he has great ideas. If that was what played out, then in some of the political parties, the people that ended up as their flag bearers wouldn't be, because they had other people with ideas, people that are more visionary. But because people are not actually looking at the masses, no wonder like the average Nigerian is always at the receiving end. They say a thing, tomorrow they go against it. Lack of integrity, greed, personal interest, and then I think the summary of it all is just selfishness. So people say a thing, later on they go against it. And today Nigerians don't even believe politicians. And that is why sometimes if somebody is talking to you and he refer to you as, you're a politician, you need to sit down and reassess yourself, because it's not really a good compliment. When they tell you are a politician, why? Because people over time...
Even if it was a joke.
Yes, you should sit down and think about it. How can somebody just look at, you are really a politician? That means think. It's either did you lie to the person, or were you psycho-fancying?
when they say you're a politician, it's actually, am I or Peter Obi, or which one?
Which politician are you talking about?
So if they are to call you a politician, which politician would you rather they call you?
I want to answer it after the show.
Please, what about you? I thought you said Atiku. You said Peter Obi. I heard you.
Okay. Politician.
If you were to be a politician, which one would you be?
Can I give you the answer after the show?
No, give me on the show. Let them know the people that love them and the people that don't love them. If you were to be a politician, who would you be? Whether it's a senator, whether it's a governor, who would you be?
Wow. So far, just one person comes to mind.
Who?
I like to say Peter Obi.
Why?
Okay, so because of what he had, like I followed what he says. Record? Yeah. Okay, the way he speaks. For one, I love people who have good oratory. Like you speak well. That was the attractive point for me. But I also checked out his track record when he was governor of his state, and how he worked within the state and the level that he moved to the state to. And I think that he has a certain form of antecedents. He's well versed, he's built. And I've also heard testimonies from other people that he has communicated with, and it just makes sense to me personally. I'm not saying that he doesn't have his own faults, because there's some people that keep on saying that he has certain faults, and they
What
do
about you,
sound
Joyce?
believable to me.
Look at the camera. Not the camera.
Please, can I answer this?
No, we are on a live show and our time is running.
Okay, it might just take me about 1 hour to
We will wait.
to defend.
No, just tell us, if you were to be a politician, who would you be?
I think I would like to be me.
You are not a politician. You're a bloody TV host.
I'm not a politician, but I'm in politics.
Okay, but which one of the politicians would you want to be, like, if you were to be a politician?
Well, I can just talk about a particular politician that I think, based on what I've heard him say and all.
We are waiting. Based on what you heard him say and all that. Continue.
Okay.
Did you promise someone that you vote the person and the name of the person is not who you are calling now? We are talking about credible candidates on the show today, and I want to know, who are you choosing of the show? Who would you want to be? Because you brought a politician, so I'm asking, if you were to be a politician today, who would you want? She said Peter Obi, and she gave reasons.
Okay.
Joyce, are they that much? They are not that plenty.
Like, I've had quite a number of politicians
That are role models?
Yes, yes, and I think going by, for some of them, they are first timers.
See how you're suddenly humble.
Yes, they are first timers, and then for some of them, they were one time this and that, and I think to some extent and to some level, going by the antecedents, they did well and they kept to their words, and I think I actually celebrated such people, and they cut across different parties.
Yeah, go ahead, mention them.
So,
in other words, it's not just one person.
yes.
So,
There's more.
Okay, for the presidential election, I think one person that I think I celebrated his doggedness is Peter Obi. And that's going by his past antecedents. And he's somebody that, like, going by the ideas and, like, each, you know, that's, like, this is what is the driving force is. And I like the fact that most times when he appears for campaigns, you hardly see him engage himself in insults. Like, while even at the point while other candidates were trying to attack verbal violence and all, he still sticks to the issue at hand. So for me, it's not like insulting the sensitivity of the situations that Nigerians are facing, because if at a time where people are being killed, people are hungry, going through a lot of hardship, you go for campaigns instead of addressing what you want to do for the people, you're rather attacking each other. I think is an insult to the sensitivity, and that's why I give it to him on that angle, for the fact that he kept discussing the issue, looking at the possibility of ensuring that Nigeria is great, and I think for presidential, I give it to him.
okay. So how many credible politicians do you think we have? Who are the credible people and why?
Okay, I think we have so many.
Who are they?
Mentioning their names right now.
Do you know that it's amazing how that you've never been to a particular state, but you know a credible politician from that state?
Yes, because they do leave a mark. So when you hear about the position that he met the states in before he came in, and then when he was leaving that state, you know that there's a massive growth. There's something that he did. There's an implementation that took place. There's something that brought out the nation and the state to a certain level. Okay, so the people of the state might not be content with that person. See one, for instance, the people of Imo. At some point, they were not. But then the story of Imo at that period was like very loud, because everybody was like, okay, no, this person walked in Imo State. This person made Imo this to this position. There's also the one from Rivers. No, Rivers is moving. Rivers is growing because of this person. This person is really leaving a mark in Rivers State. So there are a number of people that are like that have you already hear that this person has done this. You're listening, you're hearing it, and they list out. And if you get the opportunity of visiting the place, you can see that there's really development, there's really growth in that place. And that's why I think to an extent you can tilt towards, okay, I think this person has integrity. He said that he would do this, he did it. But that's not always the story though. I'm just saying.
Okay, do you know your governors in Gombe?
Yeah, I know a few of them. Let me see, there was Goje, there was this other one that his name always keeps from my head. I can't remember. Then there was Tolba. What's that his name again?
That's not his name.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember his own name. It's just that.
I'm sure you're from Gombe. Even
I
not that you are brilliant, I would say, Kai.
I actually have personal issues with names sometimes. So, but from facial,
The day
I
you
can
forget my name.
I will never forget that.
Joyce, like in Plateau, who were the governors that you say they were really credible, or senators, or members House of Rep, or who, and why?
Okay, one time, or the
Yeah, one time,
aspiring.
like in the history of Plateau.
In the history of Plateau, we've had Tabgun, Fidelis Tabgun. We've had Joshua Dari.
The ones that are credible, I'm saying
Okay,
you should mention the
credible.
ones that are credible.
Jonah Jang, I think that Jonah David Jang is one of the celebrated governor on the Plateau, and I think one of the reasons is the fact that he's dogged. He's not someone that can be easily manipulated, and going by the developmental strides that on the Plateau, I think we can give it to him. When you talk about the present Goodluck Ebele Jonathan Road, the satellite markets, like there are so many institutions, so many projects that you can refer to that he actually ensured that impact are felt. And I think he's one of the past governor on the Plateau that is celebrated.
Who else?
And
should I help you?
please go ahead.
J.D. Gomwalk.
Yes.
I don't think if you count 5 governors in Nigeria that were from in those days, right? If you count like 5, J.D. Gomwalk should be number 1, 2, and 3 from the 5, and I'll tell you why. You see that long building standing there called Standard Building? That building was erected in the 70s for somebody to think that way then. You see that Terminus Market? You see the Secretariat? You see all of these things that were invented then? What are you thinking? That if this same kind of leaders would erupt today, they would think 50 years ahead and build such, because that building is almost 50 years standing. Look at the roads. Look at how Plateau was architectured. Look at how everything was planned then. So can you say then and now? If politicians that are watching now, they will argue everything I'm saying just so that their defeated lifestyles can be favored. But you cannot go into politics. Till today, I'm still struggling. Do I want to contest any position? I'm thinking about that. Like, people are calling, like, try do this, try do that. In elections I just held, my posters and everything were everywhere. But it's something to be happy about, that you didn't spend money, but people are pasting your posters everywhere. It's something to be happy about. But come to think of it, Like this morning, I was on a long call with someone, and they keep saying, we want this, we want. But the question I'm asking is, how will I get there and be different from the other people if I will not be? I'm not just saying, yeah, well, he tried. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, wow, this, like people should be speechless. If I cannot, what is my reason of being there?
True.
Because now, let me be honest with you. If it's the money that people use to get to that office, people can help me with it. I know people who will make, if I come out today and say, this is the account number, help me, I want to become this, Women Fellowship will give me that money before. At least I have put their songs on TV. So they give me the money before pastors and all of that. But you see, I just said Women Fellowship will give me that money. Joyce and Prudence, imagine that the church came together and gathered money for you, like because you were credible while you were GM Equa TV, and you went there and became a stupid idiot. Some people just have no sense of thinking about tomorrow. So when you get to where you are going to, you can afford to do anything because, wow, we're here. But see, is the entrance door directly opposite is the exit door. So if you don't know, we are saying, what should you look out for in a candidate? What makes the candidate? He must be believable. Think about it, Joyce. You are a member House of Rep, and everything that comes to you every month, let's say it's 10 million. You pay your age, you pay everything and all of that. Apart from constituency projects. Even though we are saying it like it's so easy, but it sounds so easy to say, but it's difficult. There's a lot of lobbying to do. There's a lot of this. You sit down and say, this cannot happen. This is because of this and this and this. But the question is, how did other people get it done? A governor will do 8 years. He will not do 1 kilometer, 100 kilometer roads in the township. How much more local government? What stops you from making 200 in every local government that you have? 200 kilometers per local government. And then you talk about the city center, 300. Refurbishing roads and reconstruction of roads and new roads and all of that. Why won't you think of that? Why won't you think of having a standard hospital in every senatorial district? Why won't you think of potable drinking water? There are places within the same Nigeria that me and you are. People are drinking from the same source as their cows, their dogs, their everything. Yes, in Nigeria. This I've been to a place in Bauchi. I was an aide to a governor, and we went there. People were drinking water, and this thing was what do you call this? Millipede? Is it something? Guinea worm? Is it guinea worm? There's this thing that comes out. It was coming out of their eyes. I had that on camera, man. Is it guinea worm or millipede? Something like that. I can't remember what it is, but it was coming out. So if you are talking about who should be a credible person and what you should look out for, we have not started this show with this topic because there are a lot of things with examples. I guarantee you, if we want to take this thing far for people to know that the people they voted and they are still voting again are not credible, then tomorrow we will repeat the same topics with clips. Then you understand what we are saying. Further, final thoughts.
Well, credibility is key. Competence is key. Good track record is key. My dear people, beyond spirituality, we need economy, we need physical power, we need intellectual power, and that is why it's important for us to all go out there and exercise our civic responsibility by voting the right candidate, not just on ethnic background or region or whatsoever, but credibility should be the watchword.
I would like to say that keep sentiments out of the political zone. That's all.
What makes you credible? Are you credible? If you are credible, why didn't they vote you again? If you are credible, why are you losing relevance? If you are credible, why are they not saying anything about you? It's been today's live on Echo Television International, and tomorrow we're still coming back again. We're just tracking the road all the way down Friday till we hit it on the head by Saturday. So keep watching today's live on Echo Television. Tomorrow we're coming. It has to do with Saturday's election. Tony J. Nakali, Joyce Jakada, and Prudence Burga did this on Equa Television. Please don't forget to be kind to one another and stay out of trouble. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. if Jesus tarries. See you tomorrow. Bye.